So what are your plans for Social Security, and would that include privatization?
What are the plans for Social Security? Well, there's no money there. We know that. I think the one thing that we should offer is at least the people that are coming into the workforce right now the opportunity to opt out. You know, everybody likes opting out of Obamacare one segment, but there's so many other things we should be opting out. But I think young people ought to have the right to opt out and say, I'm going to take care of myself. You don't have to take care of me. I'm not going to depend on you. It would be a safe bet since it's bankrupt. So I let them opt out. And then you'll say, well, how in thunder are you going to take care of the elderly? See, the elderly are dependent. That money has been spent. But one thing I can say is over the many years I've been in Congress, I never spent one penny of the Social Security fund because I never voted for any of the appropriations bills. They were always too big. So I did more to protect that than anybody else. And also I had a bill in that would say that you can't use any of that money, prohibit the government from using Social Security money in the put it in the General Revenue Fund. But that still doesn't answer the entire question. One thing I could do to help the elderly is a monetary issue, is that deregulate interest rates. So those who know that Social Security is running out and they are saving, they have money in the bank, and they make 1 or 2%. Well, if you had market rates, you'd make 6 or 7%. So the banks get the money for free, and then they loan it out to different entities, government sometimes, and they're making all the money. But the other thing on Social Security, I try to work our way out, and I touched on that before, on where I would cut to allow the people, if they're 60, 70, 80 years old and they're dependent, that's the last thing in the world that we should be, working on at this moment. But if we have runaway inflation, everybody suffers and the checks will buy nothing. And that's what we're moving into. So it is important. So that's why I pick and choose. I have priorities. If nobody will listen to the priorities, then we should cut the budget across the board. Everybody gets got 10%, just to say, this is important. But if we had the priorities, we cut this militarism, and we cut these departments, and then eventually you have to change some rules, as far as what are we going to do with the people that are 30, 40, and 50, the young people, let them get out. Besides, there are not enough young people coming into the workforce to pay for all this. But it is a big deal, and because we're moving into the inflation, actually it's going to be beyond legislative control because there will be a reduction in real value. But if you worked on priorities and we got the economy going, things could be worked out. But I have to tell you, I'm not all that optimistic about it. I'm sort of betting that if we don't, get these changes done, that we're going to move to a very, very bad situation where the inflation is going to eat us up.